As the movie begins, we are immediately thrust into a tense chase on a mountainous road where a young girl is seen desperately running for her life. Her pursuers, two menacing figures in gas masks, are hot on her heels in a car. In a frantic bid for escape, the girl veers off the road, but her efforts are fruitless as the pursuers catch up to her on foot, leading to her untimely demise. The scene shifts dramatically to a dark, unsettling image of another girl, who is visibly shaken and held captive. A man approaches her. His manner is calm, yet unnerving. He removes the bag that had been obscuring her view, reassuring her with hollow promises of safety provided she remains cooperative. Offering her water, he leaves her alone in the dim room to process her circumstances and regain some sense of composure. This man is revealed to be an extremist, consumed by his own radical beliefs. He is steadfastly grooming his son to adopt the same extremist worldview, keeping him secluded from society and the very air he breathes, claiming toxicity lies beyond the confines of their home. In his delusional quest for a utopian family unit, he and his wife have resorted to abducting young girls to fulfill the role of his son's sister. The opening victim was revealed to be one such sister who reached her breaking point and attempted to flee from their twisted captivity. The narrative continues as both the husband and wife later approach the newly captured girl, presenting her with a disturbing proposition: to assume a role within their family for a few transient years. After this chilling introduction, the husband departs, leaving the wife to engage with the girl. She performs a routine of nurturing care, offering food, but the girl remains unconvinced by her. In a moment of calculated intimacy, the wife leans in and insinuates that compliance would make her existence easier. This sinister suggestion piques the girl's curiosity, prompting her to question the wife's motives, to which she chillingly responds that all her actions are in service of family. With a resigned acceptance, the girl eats the food provided to her. Later, the wife joins her husband, who is in the midst of indoctrinating their son. The boy, naive and eager, expresses excitement at the prospect of interacting with his new sister. However, his father tempers his enthusiasm with the caveat that she is not yet ready to fulfill her role. In a subsequent encounter with the girl, the father alters her restraints, attaching a cuff to her ankle as a symbolic gesture of freedom within their home. He sets the terms of her existence amongst them, her treatment and liberties contingent upon her attitude and willingness to embrace the role of sister to his special boy. In the quiet solitude of the basement, the girl spends her days immersed in her book, while the family above continues their daily life, undisturbed. Time passes, and the father presents the girl with a set of new, comfortable clothes. He escorts her to the bathroom to change, a brief moment of privacy before she's led back to her confined space, the chain reaffixed. The father questions her willingness to obey the house rules, and she agrees. He emphasizes that her past behaviors are to remain in the past, and she nods in agreement, showing compliance. Eventually, the son is introduced to his new sister in the basement, where he is playing a board game. Curious and wanting to connect, she approaches and joins in the game. This simple act marks the beginning of her integration into the family. At her first dinner with them, the father praises her for overcoming her illness and signals her to take a seat at the table. As the mother prepares the meal, the girl offers to assist. The mother responds in Chinese, assuring her she's doing well, which angers the father, who jumps to the conclusion that they're exchanging secrets. His reaction is fueled by his belief in total family transparency. The mother clarifies the situation, and the father warns against repeating such private exchanges. In the course of their playtime, the girl inquires of the boy about their future, to which he innocently explains that she will stay until she's ready to join him in his room for more playtime. This transition happens swiftly, and they begin their education together under the father's strictness. During a lesson, the father interrogates the girl on the moral decay he perceives in the modern world's obsession with the future at the expense of the present. Dissatisfied with her response, he provides his own. However, when she introduces the idea of objective truth, he quickly sends his son away. Despite the boy's curiosity about her thoughts, the father is non-yielding. Once alone, The father's anger manifests physically as he strikes her for what he deems as an attempt to corrupt his son's mind. Her efforts to defend her intentions are fruitless, and when she tries to tear out a page from her notebook in frustration, he threatens her with severe consequences. The punishment is severe. She is subjected to a harrowing time with pressurized water as a form of correction. All the while, the son is a witness to this chilling discipline, a silent observer to the harsh reality of their father's doctrine. That evening, the mother brings the daughter her dinner, and amidst the quiet, the daughter confronts her with an emotional question, inquiring why she continues to partake in this deception. The mother, with a calm yet firm conviction, insists that the world outside is awful and the sanctuary they've created within the confines of their home represents safety and truth. This reasoning resonates with the girl, calming her unrest, and she eats. Later, she joins the family, settling in as the father entertains them with a story, a ritual that binds them in the peculiar world they inhabit. In the stillness of the night, the boy, restless and unable to sleep, nudges his sister awake, seeking a story that could take him back to sleep. She admits to having none, prompting him to share his aspiration to become a storyteller like his father. She questions why he doesn't craft his own narratives, suggesting that he draws inspiration from the vastness of the outside world, which she implies is not off limits for their stories. Confused by her suggestions and knowledge of the world beyond, he retreats hastily to his bed. She follows, promising to tell him a story the next day. It's then that she inadvertently stumbles upon a photograph of the mother, strikingly similar to the one taken of her when she first arrived. The following morning, as they resume their play, the boy expresses his love for the dramatic flair his father adopts during storytelling. The concept of a play is foreign to him, so she explains that it involves acting out characters from a story. His fear that they might become trapped as these characters is alleviated when she assures him they won't. Despite his lingering doubts, they decide to seek the father's permission to continue. The father, though hesitant, agrees to consider it and places the responsibility of the play's direction on the daughter, emphasizing the weight of this charge. As they diligently work on their play, the son struggles with the sense of performance. She reassures him, encouraging his efforts, and imparts a piece of wisdom. A story need not be wholly original. Often, it is refined and improved upon in the retelling. She is subtly guiding him, correcting the narrative in a way that might enlighten him. She implores him to keep their exchange a secret from their father, planting seeds of independent thought and perhaps a spark of rebellion against the constrained life they've been forced to lead. During a family dinner, the father inquires about the progress of the play the children have been working on. The son begins to spill details, but the girl quickly interjects, suggesting they reveal the play on his birthday to maintain an element of surprise. However, the father picks up on the word soldier mentioned by the son and probes further. The son tries to deflect, stating that the story has evolved, as stories often do. The father's temper flares upon hearing this, demanding the girl to explain her knowledge of his stories. She attempts to deflect, but it's clear the father's suspicions are piqued. Later, while washing dishes, the girl confronts the mother about the photograph, questioning her motives given that the son isn't truly hers. The mother's response is heated. She retorts that the girl shouldn't presume to understand or see beyond the mother's own perceptions. She suggests that her longevity in this life implies a deeper understanding or knowledge that the girl isn't used to. The next day unfolds with a routine domestic scene as the mother and daughter prepare food. It's interrupted when the father begins drawing blood from the son, a yearly ritual tied to his birthday. The girl, now with a cuff on her ankle, questions her brother about this peculiar practice. The boy admits ignorance, except for the fact that it's a yearly occurrence. When she broaches the subject of the outside world, the boy's discomfort is palpable, and she retreats from the conversation, respecting his unease. At dinner later, the girl boldly asks the father about the purpose of the blood samples. The question hangs in the air, marking yet another moment of tension between the girl's growing curiosity and the father's secretive, controlling manner. The girl's probing question about the blood samples doesn't go unnoticed, and the father attempts to dismiss it casually. But she is persistent, seeking the truth. This persistence clearly bothers the father, who cautions her with the old quote that curiosity killed the cat. However, noticing the tension his words have caused, he swiftly softens his approach, assuring her that the blood they're taking from the son is destined for a noble cause, to save the world. As bedtime approaches, the father checks in on the children and finds them immersed in refining their script. They plead for a few more precious minutes to work, and seizing the moment, the girl requests a typewriter. The father is initially reluctant but promises to consider the request. In a private conversation later, the father's agitation over the girl's assertive behavior becomes apparent, yet the wife intervenes, suggesting that allowing the children to engage in this creative pursuit might bring them joy. Acknowledging her perspective, the father concedes and presents them with a typewriter, a tool that significantly aids in their creative progress. In a bold move, the girl slips a paper with a call for help behind one of the boy's paintings, aware that these artworks often leave the confines of their home, but her action doesn't go unnoticed. The boy, waking unexpectedly, questions her late-night activity. Thinking quickly, she covers up her true intent by claiming the paintings help soothe her sleeplessness. He empathizes with her, offering a hug, and then, in a display of trust, decides to share a secret of his own. He leads her downstairs, revealing a mysterious glowing machine powered by his blood. In his innocent belief, he explains that this machine is the key to his father's grand plan to save the world, showing the depth of indoctrination he has undergone and the complex web of lies the father has woven around them. After the unsettling discovery of the glowing machine, the girl couldn't seem to shake off a sense of unease. She became distant, often lost in her own world of thoughts, grappling with the reality she had witnessed. The heaviness hung over her as time marched on, leading up to the boy's birthday, a day of celebration within the family's isolated world. The special day arrives, and it's marked with a sense of festivity as the girl and the boy reveal their much-anticipated play. Their performance is a dance, infused with creativity and uniqueness, a testament to their joint efforts in the face of adversity. The mother watches with adoration, her heart swelling with pride at their display of artistry. However, the father's reaction is starkly different, his temper flaring violently as he lashes out at both children. The mother, in a desperate attempt to defuse the situation, is met with his unwavering rage. In a pivotal moment, she turns to her son, uttering her real name, Sylvia, before making a dash for the outside, a world they've been conditioned to fear as poisonous. The boy, following his mother, is immediately stricken with a fit of coughing and suffocating, the fresh air like a toxin to his sheltered system. The father, torn between pursuit and shock, ultimately refrains from chasing after Sylvia. Instead, he retreats back into the house, where he offers apologies and calls everyone to follow him, pleading with the girl to assist him for the boy's sake. But in a shocking turn of events, it is the boy who acts, seizing a hammer and striking his father from behind. The boy's actions are frantic, fueled by a rush of emotions, and in the aftermath, he collapses in a faint, the weight of his actions too heavy to bear. In a distant scene, the girl's silent plea for help, embedded in the painting, finds its way to the outside world. A man comes across the SOS message but dismisses it, throwing it away even after reading the desperate words. The narrative then shifts to the girl leading the boy to safety, to a ranch, where both donned gas masks as a precaution. There, she courageously removes hers, breathing freely, and reassures him that the air is not harmful. She steps away, giving him the space to process this new reality on his own terms. The boy, left alone with his thoughts amid the open air he was taught to fear, sits in contemplation. The movie concludes on this note of uncertainty, leaving the boy's choice and the very essence of their reality open to interpretation. Did this story spook you out? Let us know in the comments below. For more horror movie recaps, subscribe to our channel, and we will see you in the next one. Fear awaits you.